Today, we are doing a test to see how athletic DDG is. And DDG has never played football, but he was valedictorian in high school. Being as smart as he was, he could go to any college he wanted to. But DDG just couldn't find a love for football, but he was a bucket in basketball. Being the athletic person that DDG was, if he actually put those hours in and actually grinded, he might have been a top 5 pick in the NBA draft. We are going to test DDG football skills at Central Michigan. On to DDG first game with a crowd like this, he has to show out. Being from Pontiac, Michigan and still playing in Michigan, all of his family is out there. But he went in with his first career TD and the speed that DDG have is crazy. And he might only be 5'8", but he will go up and get that ball. The vert that he has is crazy and he is very physical. And when I say DDG is kind of lean, I mean he's lean. He got some muscle on him. Being that he might not be the shiftiest or he might not know how to run the routes the right way, but the speed is gonna make up for all of that. DDG has an outstanding game and gets player of the game. As if DDG team Central Michigan was not off to the good start in the next game, he put matters into his own hands and took it all the way down 4-6 early on. Central Michigan might just not be the best team, but DDG is gonna try to put them on the map. And I mean, with the athleticism that he has, I mean, just look at him. He dunks on these kids. And I mean, being 5'8" and going up like that is just crazy. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, he get a good release on the line, runs him over, but he gets tackled from behind. Hey, yo. But on 3rd and goal, as you can see, he was going with another TD, and we're going to win another game. On to our next game against 2-1 Toledo. As you can see, DDG routed him up, and the quarterback underthrew the ball. And I mean, what was that? DDG was wide open, but he didn't tuck his head at all. He went to the next play and dived for the ball. Oh my God. But as you can see, going into the next play, he ran the same route and routed him up again. And this time he put it on the money. And DDG said he wanted some more. And he has a lot of stuff put on his shoulders. He is still focusing on YouTube and trying to make it out as we are down. And he is putting a team on his back every single game. I mean, Central Michigan has to do better. But DDG love for football already didn't have the best interest, but it just started to die down even more. But coach said he couldn't have enough of it. DDG was just awesome for the team. The conditioning that the team had him doing, the lifting that the team had him doing, and everything was just kind of out of his schedule for him to still focus on YouTube. But as you can see, he goes in for another one and gets player of the game again. DDG name around the school started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I mean, with the stats that he started to put up, he was now in the talk for the Heisman race, which is crazy to talk about, but he was in the race for it. Someone that didn't even love football or even want to watch football is actually amazing at it. DDG really started to lose the love for school. I mean, he was a valedictorian, but it just started to get old to him. He was too smart. I mean, would you just look at it, dunked on him, and then he keeps going, catches himself, and almost goes for 6. He is just crazy. But on 2nd and 6, as you can see, he runs a slant route, catches the ball, and almost runs them over, but he gets brought down. But on 2nd and 15, he catches another one, boom, runs him over for 6, and he going to get player of the game with 2 total TDs. Getting closer to basketball season, coach saw DDG in the basketball court shooting around, and coach said, I'm gonna give you a preferred walk on and let me see what you could do. DDG strips the ball when coach put him in, gets down the court, oh my God, he dribbles, and then he comes back, brings the center. He said, hey, what do you want to do? And then he comes in and shoot the ball and swish. He was not playing, and then he comes back down the court and swish again. I mean, DDG is a phenomenal athlete, and it is crazy. And just look at this, oh my God, off the dribble, swish. DDG quit after the first day. He didn't like how that program was ran, and he couldn't do YouTube football and basketball. And back to football, DDG really was in love with basketball, but he just couldn't do it. He didn't like how the program was ran, and it just wasn't for him, but he was absolutely a stud. I mean, if he was playing 2 sports and doing the YouTube creation, it just wouldn't have been possible. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to keep his schoolwork up. He would have had meetings. He would have had everything. It would have just been a pile up on him, and it was just crazy. But look at him. He is in the Heisman race. I mean, I didn't even know DDG was this fast, but oh my God, the quarterback couldn't even get the ball to him. He overthrew him, but on 2nd and 3, look at him. He goes up, put it on his head top, and he just gets boom. bam, to the ground. That wasn't likely. DDG didn't like that at all. But on 1st and 10, he routed him up. He said, I got something for you, baby. But we're going to win another game, and he gets 2 receiving TDs. DDG joined the team. Central Michigan has started to go up the rankings. They are now number 19 in the country. And I mean, since when have they been number 19 in the country? On 1st and 10, he goes in with a TD early on. And on 2nd and 4, he was absolutely routing him up, but the ball was overthrown. I mean, we need a quarterback, man. But on 3rd and 5, as you can see, he catches the ball and throws him off him because he's a little boy and goes in for 6. Around this time, DDG was blowing up on YouTube. I mean, the creation he was dropping, he had missed a couple meetings. But we going to win another game. He in the game off of 4 receiving TDs. The reason DDG didn't quit football just yet and was just a full-on YouTuber, I mean, he was absolutely breaking records, and he promised coach that he will get him a conference championship, something that they haven't had in years. But bam, oh my God, since when did he have this kind of bully mentality? Think somebody pissed DDG off, but he goes in with another TD, and as you can see, going into the next one, 1st and 10, he will bam him, and I mean, oh my God, he breaks a tackle, and could he break loose? No, he will not. But on 1st and 10, he will get off the line, bam him, get to the outside, break another tackle, and get pushed out of bounds. But on 1st and 10, he had enough. He caught it again and almost went for 6. But on 1st and 10, he catches another one and hits up that middle and could go all the way for another one. I mean, we were absolutely whooping him 34-7, but he still wanted more. But he gets player of the game with 3 total TDs. Things are starting to get serious. We are now the number 2 seed in the country, and DDG is taking over every college football team that we go against. He is taking advantage of, and I mean, his stats are running up. He is in the Heisman race right now. But as you can see, just look at him. He looks like he played football before. And I think it's just in his blood. I think he was supposed to be a football player and gets drafted in the NFL. But otherwise, he goes in with another TD. But on 2nd and 13, his route running is crazy. I mean, he kind of runs it like Spencer James, but it's kind of crazy. But on 3rd and 1, as you can see, he runs another crazy one and put it on his head top and tries to outrun him with the speed that he has, but he will get shoestring. But we still going to win the game. He ends the game off of 1 total TD. After DDG has set out for 3 games and absolutely gave up on football, he came back for the conference championship game. This is something that he had promised coach, but oh my God, almost a one-hand catch. But he has promised coach that he'd come back and win this for him, but he just couldn't get anything started. He kept trying to catch it with one hand, and they was just intercepting the ball. You can see on 1st and 10, he runs a deep route, finally catches it, but gets a pretty big game and throws him on the ground because he's a grown man and he has anger. But on 4th and inches, he goes for another 1st down. But on 2nd and 16, he runs another crazy route, and this time, will he break away? Yes, he will. No, he will not. He will get brought down. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, he tries to go and put it on his head top, but the ball will get intercepted, and we were going to lose, and they win the conference championship game. But just look, DDG was 3rd in the race for Heisman. That is crazy, and he doesn't even like football. DDG has now quit it and continued his path for YouTube, and YouTube has created him to be one of the top 5 rappers now. Name 5 DDG songs. I'm geeking. DDG July 14th is dropping the new album. Make sure to go check it out and drop a comment down below if you like this video.